Well, hello there, all of you beautiful BPEA partners. You're beautiful because you are a BPEA partner, but you're also beautiful because God Himself made you. And folks, I'm happy you're tuning in. This is Stephen coming to you from location in Pangnirtung, Nunavut. This community is it's not as north as some of the communities and most of the Nunavut communities are, but well, it's a lot further north than Ottawa, and right now we're coming out of the 24-hour sunlight in the summertime. It's in around about 10 o'clock at night. It starts to become dusk, and then by 2 in the morning, the sun's back in the sky. And folks, I just wanted to encourage you. Really, this has been an amazing time. Seeing young people encounter God and demons being cast out of bodies, and young people praying in the Spirit. And the report that the pastor has been giving me from this community is that there have been services where the entire congregation, all the young people, are flat on their faces in the glory of God. And that is an amazing thing to think about, because God is moving. And when God moves, and when we begin to really pray and ask the Lord to move and call heaven down, heaven moves and lives are saved. And here in Romans 8:28, Paul is talking to us about amazing things about us not being sinners. We have the Spirit of God in us, and we live in life now, and we're not in death anymore because of sin, and that old nature is done with. And here, this scripture, Romans 8:28, is something that really held me through some tough times that I honestly never thought there would be any way through. The youth pastor that I had when I was a teenager, he was a man of God, and he was a man of faith, and challenged all of us young people, all of us teenagers, to consider our faith and what it really is. And if it wasn't for that man, I don't know that I really would have had much of a relationship with God. He really put all of that in our face. Who is God to you? And tell me, when is the last time that you heard the Lord's voice? And they were quite intense times, but I think every now and then we have to really wonder about our faith. Is it real? Is there works attached to our faith? And after the most traumatic thing that ever happened to me, this scripture that our youth pastor would say to us all the time came to mind, and it is Romans 8:28. And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to His purpose for them. It's an amazing thing, this scripture, because really it's a promise from God to you and to me that things work together in our lives for good. If they were bad, God can turn them around for good. If they were good, well, the Lord really doesn't have to play with them. When I'd gone through the most traumatic thing in my life, having been abused as a teenager, you can't see the end to it. You can't see the end of the pain or the anger or the shame or any of those terrible things that I'm sure some of you have encountered at some point or another. But here the Lord is saying, and it's a promise to you, for your families, for your finances, for anything that you are troubled about, that God causes all things to work together for good. And the condition there, the only condition, thank God, is that we just have to love Him. And that's an easy thing to do, because God is quite a lovely person once you get to know Him. And even before you know Him, He's a lovely person. But the condition there is that you just love God. And so I just want to encourage you, don't give up. Hold on, because the Lord is about to move in your life. Breakthrough's coming. Hang on. Go for God. And remember His great promises that all things work together for good. For you, because you love Him. Bless you guys, and we'll see you again.